Hi there guys, Adam from The Beard Solution here, back with another video, and in today's video I want to cover off a topic with you that I get asked quite regularly in my comments section, which is how long will it take before you start seeing results? Now obviously this is going to vary from person to person, but I'm going to try and make this as benchmarkable as possible to give you a rough idea about how long to expect to wait, and in future I'll just be able to link guys asking me that question this video and it should answer all of your concerns. So without further ado, let's get into this video. According to Jonshon Johnson, the manufacturers of Rogaine, aka Regaine depending on where you are in the world, they conducted a clinical trial which found that it took between 8 and 16 weeks for the average person to start seeing results using Minoxidil. Bear in mind, average. There's going to be some people who see results much sooner than that and some people who see results slightly after that. Now, what we need to consider is that Minoxidil and this journey is not a binary process, okay? Those people who see results before 8 weeks are indeed what we would call a fast gainer. Does that make anybody who sees results after 8 weeks a slow gainer? No. In my opinion, you shouldn't be using that term. I hate that term so much, but you shouldn't be using the term slow gainer unless you've been using Minoxidil for over 16 weeks and have only just started seeing results. Now, if you're seeing results between that 8 to 16 week period, congratulations, you're just like me, you're within the average. And if you are seeing results before, great. And if you're seeing results slightly after, as long as you're seeing results, that's a good sign. Now, there are some people that are not responders to Minoxidil, okay? So it's unfortunate, but it's just the truth with a lot of drugs, not everybody responds to it. Now, there is one potential option that you could consider if using Minoxidil 5% has seen you no gains. Now, I'm not talking about using the dermal alongside Minoxidil, but you could try that, but I'm talking about using a higher concentration of Minoxidil. Now, that doesn't mean to apply Minoxidil more than twice a day, because that has been shown that doesn't help improve any sort of result, okay? And also, obviously, your skin's going to hit a saturation point at some point where if you just keep applying, you're just wasting any particular product that you're using, and likely you're only going to increase side effects. Those who are looking at using a higher concentration, something like the 10%, might start to see some results from using a higher concentration. Now, we essentially drew this conclusion because there was a study that was done on non-responders to 5% Minoxidil where they gave them 15% Minoxidil. And 2/3 of that group started to see some results. Okay, so they started to respond to Minoxidil. What we do need to consider that 15% likely had DHT blockers in it because Minoxidil is only soluble to around about 2.7% in alcohol alone, and I think around 7% with propylene glycol or a glycerin carrier, and potentially 10% might not have blockers, but some might, so do err on the side of caution. But that 15% likely helped them as well because it did have some DHT blockers, but we can't say for sure. What we can say is that you could try 10%, like I say. Things like 2Gain or Mintop are, well-known 10% brands. They don't advertise that they have DHT blockers, and usually you'd expect a manufacturer to advertise that they're using a DHT blocker because they're marketed for scalp users, and that would be a plus point for a scalp user. So it would be to a company's interest to advertise that. So if they aren't advertising that, it's likely that it's because it doesn't have DHT blockers. So I would say they are a potential option for you to consider if you're not seeing any results from Minoxidil. But overall, guys, if you are looking at the average data set as opposed to particularly responsive individuals that you might not necessarily have the same results as because we're all different, if you follow that data set between 8 and 16 weeks, then you should be giving yourself much more realistic expectations. And if you aren't currently following that, then you need to reassess where you are, okay? Hopefully, guys, that has been helpful and informative to you in some way. And if it has, then please do hit that like button and help support this channel. If you do like videos like these, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the notifications bell as well. And if you do have any comments, questions, queries, or suggestions, pop them in the comments box below. I try and get back to as many of you as I possibly can. Thank you ever so much for watching, guys, and I will see you again next time.
You don't rate me cause I ain't got a blue tick, but I got one on the top that gave me.
I don't even know what's real.